Good evening, all. Yeah. Very good, very good evening. So today's topic is about action elements in JSP. Okay, so let's go ahead. Uh, as we have discussed, few concepts in previous sessions. That's scripting elements and uh, input objects, and then and then directives, right? And now it's about action elements. Okay, so action elements specifically to perform a specific task. Okay, so as name indicate, it performs, it will do some actions. Okay, right. So JSP action elements are used to perform specific tasks and also used for controlling the flow or flow bit pages. Okay, so flow in the sense the navigation part, and to use Java beans as well, along with the flow. Even you're going to use Java beans, right? And JSP actions uses this construction in XML syntax. Okay, basically these actions used for constructing XML syntaxes to control the behavior of servlet engine. Okay, to behavior of a servlet engine, we can use this JSP action tags. Okay, right. So and the main part, right, we can dynamically insert a file. So specifically for dynamic insertion, file, we can use this JSP action elements. Okay, not only inserting dynamically, also for reusing the bean components. Okay, and forward user to another page. Okay, so this is main thing, or main target is about redirection or forward. Okay, it's not only forward. So what we have learned in service as in request dispatcher. Do you all remember request dispatcher? So same task, and here specifically with the elements or tags. Along with this, we're going to learn few more. Okay, so let's see what are all the action tags we have. Okay, so the main important action elements or action tags are JSP forward. So basically forward method, what is a user forward? So basically it's used for forwarding, request or a kind of response to another resource or any kind of resources. We can use this forward tag. And we have include, right? Include tag. So yes, this is used for including content of another page. So actually we have to call it another resource, but yes, I had given here as a page. And right, so UseBean tag, and this is one important tag in JSP. Okay, so why do we needed this UseBean element or UseBean tag? If you want to instantiate Java Bean class, okay, Java Bean class, so then we can use Bean element. Okay, and then along with this we have two more important things. That's about set properties and get properties. So as name indicates, as name suggests, so set properties so can be used for setting values to a Bean class, bean properties, or we can say variables. Okay, and that same variables, if you want to get it back, not variables, sorry, values, if you want to get back those values, then we can use this get property method. And then we have param. So basically param is used for setting a parameter, or even we can send parameter to another resource. Okay, we can say this param tag or param element is sub element of forward or include. Okay, hope it's clear, guys. One second, I'm not finding any. Just a minute. Okay. So now we'll see, execution part of each action element. Where is my clips? So let me change this to JSP workspace. Okay, so this is for action, dynamic web project and action elements. Yes, deployments descriptor is not needed actually, but still I'll generate. Okay, so it's generated. Now let's go to this action elements project. And in web content, I'll create folder for each, okay, each action element. And now we'll see for forward. Forward. Okay. So now here in forward, what I do, I'll create one HTML file. Okay. So in that forward form. Okay. So now in the body tag, so let's take, please observe the logic. Um, so I'm taking form tag. Okay. Form action is empty for now. And now get into this, so let's take table row and, table data and here username. Okay. So username and so here I'm taking again TD and in TD, so I'm passing input tag. Okay. So input type equals to text and name equals to username. Okay. So now, right. So I closed and then again I closed the TR as well. Okay. Why this is an error? I mean, not an error, sorry. So it's just a warning. Fine. Again TR. So TR again TD and in the TD. So let me take an age. Okay. So here again input tag. Right. Input. Actually, without table I'm writing. So that is the reason it is giving. Okay. So let me make this table. I forgot to use the tag. Actually, I'm using input tags. Okay. So here now type equals to uh, text. Okay. Type equals to text and name equals to, so let me give, give it as an int, age. So here, right? So now, mm, let me give this as /td, and again td. So let's go to end. So now td and tr. Okay. So now let's come out this table, and then now here I'm passing in tag. So input type equals to submit. Okay, and value equals to, let's take it as in submit only. Okay, so now let me create one file. Okay, I'm gonna create one file. So that file name is called as mediator. Okay, so please observe. So I'm gonna create one JSP file as a mediator. Okay, so mediator, and here why this is an error, because okay, so let me add this jar file and build a path, right? So I added jar file, fine. Now I'm accepting that username and age. Okay, so I'm calling, let me write the comment, getting uname and age from the user, right? So how do we get that? So obviously with the help of scriptlet. I mean, not scriptlet, with the help of get parameter method. Okay, so now let's take the scriptlet. Okay, and in scriptlet, um, string username equals to request dot get parameter. Okay, so in get parameter, what we have to pass? We have to pass uname. This is a variable. This is the value which we are passing in name, not name. Yes, name. Right. So now again, int age equals to suppose here I'm using integer dot parseInt, parseInt, and inside this parseInt, what I'll do, I'll request that age. So request dot get parameter. So in get parameter, what should we need to pass here? So we have to pass age, right? And so here if needed, we can print. Let's take it as an F. Okay, and right, so now what I'll do, I'll print. So I'll print, I'll take it as an out dot print. It is not right. So out dot print, I'm printing just the name. Okay, just name to a browser. What should be given here with double quotes? Hello with the plus username. Okay, username. And then, so now please observe. Now I'm writing logic. So what logic I'm writing here? In this scriptlet only. Okay, so I'm using conditional statement. So if age, if age is greater than 60, greater than or equal to, okay, if it is greater than or equal to Why it is not going? Just running. Yes, it's working. Okay, let's take this. Okay, so if age is greater than or equal to 60, so what I'll do, I'll call JSP, JSP colon forward, forward, and page is equals to, I'm redirecting to senior.jsp. Okay, senior.jsp. So I have not yet created, but yes, I'll create. Fine. So I'm redirecting to senior.jsp. Okay. And then again, along with this, JSP page, I'm gonna, pass parameter as well. Okay. JSP colon param. Okay. So in this param, value equals to, so you can pass any value. Let's take 100 and name. So name can be, let's take it as in my parameter. Okay. And see, this is wrong actually. I forgot to use this, forward method, because param always, we must pass inside, sorry, param must be passed inside, forward. Okay. Right. So now again, um, so again, let's take this. So let me close here. And here, I'm gonna pass else part. Okay, else. So again, in case if it's not greater than, not greater than or equals to 60, then obviously we have to forward to, another page, right? So another page, JSP. Why is this? Something is wrong. Just a second. This is fine. I have closed, and before else, so I opened the scriptlet, right? Okay, so actually I should close this here. Fine. So now after closing, so I had to pass this forward, forward. And along with the forward, we should have a page. So here, let's take it as a normal.jsp. Okay. Normal.jsp. Fine. And I closed this. I closed this essence. For closing also, we should have one split. Okay. So logic is very simple. Control. Right. Now what I should do here, I should create a, two more files. So one is normal file, the other one is senior, right? So first let me create a senior file itself. Let's go to this forward folder, and let's create one file called senior. Okay, so I'm gonna create a senior.jsp file, and inside this senior.jsp file, so let's take, you know, string username equals to request dot get parameter. Okay, get parameter, and your which parameter we have to get, that is username. Okay, username we have to get. And now, so let us, receive that parameter, because now we are getting, actually we passed one parameter in that HTML file, right? So we'll try to get that. How to get that? So the parameter is value is integer type, right? So int, and interest rate or interest equals to integer dot, okay, integer dot parseInt, and that parse int, inside parseInt request dot get parameter. Okay, so here in get parameter, so we must pass that param as, parameter name, my param, right? And end with semicolon. Okay, so nothing, we're just, typecasting in the sense, here is concept of what is it, number format. So here number format, since actually we are converting one type to another type. Suppose if we enter in a string variable, it can have, it can convert string, in the sense whatever it is accepting in the form of string, that we are converting to an integer type with the help of parseInt. Okay, so now I'm gonna print. Okay, I'm gonna print that interest. Okay, so let's take it as an, h1 or h2. Okay, so let's take welcome message as, hello, uh, with the again, scriptlet as, not scriptlet, here I'm taking expression, username. So let's take after, along with the it's not semicolon, colon, your, you know your loan interest rate, is equal to interest. Okay, so we should print, we have to create, here I have to create one more file as normal file, right? Okay, this is the normal, and here in the normal file, so let's take this, um, string username equals to request dot get parameter. So in get parameter, what we have to pass? We have to pass username, uname. Okay. And right. So and then come out of that, scriptlet, and let's take the h2 tag, and here we have to print hello, hello with the username. Okay. So what is that username? I'm taking expression username. Okay, so is that username? Yes, so it's username only. Fine. And along with the message, we have to print. Okay, along with the message, your interest rate, is, let's take it as a 5%. Okay. Fine then. So I hope it's done. So now let's take, forward.html, sorry, forward form. And here, to which file we have to redirect. So inside our HTML file, is it for senior or for, senior page or for normal page? So I have already here, nothing. Let's go to this mediator. Yes. So let's take it as an mediator dot JSP. I have taken mediator dot JSP. Fine. And now let's take. So let me run this. So age and the name. Okay, so let's take Harvey and age 45. So it says that hello, your interest rate is 5%. Okay, so now let's take, actually I have not printed that. Let's take right. So let's go back to this, and in this, senior page, my param. 1 minute, let me change the param value, because for interest rate 100% is not that, in which file I passed here. Okay, so now I'll change the value, param value. So how much we can have as a param value? So let's take, 3. Okay, let's take percent. Fine. So let's go back to that, this forward.html. Let me open this. So yes, control, actually it is redirecting to mediator, not mediator. Yes, forward form.html file. It is displayed this page. And now what I'll do, I'll enter, I'll enter a name and age. So age as 60, and I'll click on submit. It's wrong actually. So let me, let's go back to this mediator. So senior s, senior.jsp file is not found because of cases. So s I have given it as a uppercase, but the file name is, so everything is in lowercase, right? And right again, to HTML. And now in the HTML again, and age I entered it as an Ravi. An exception occurred in this file. An exception occurred. Okay, because of this percentage param value. So let me remove that. Because param value should be integer for integer type. Let me take here. Fine, then let's go back to this file and run. So actually we should print percentage here, but that's fine. Okay, so 100 and because entered age is equals to 60. So what happened here? It comes under senior citizen, right? So interest rate is lower compared with a normal citizen. Okay, so hope it is clear about forward. Yes, forward element. So here what kind of action it is taking? Actually, this forward, it's actually directing a request from one source to another source. Any questions on this? No questions. Fine then. If no questions, we'll move forward. Move forward in the sense, the next one is about include. Right. Fine then. So we'll move ahead with the include form. It's not include form, sorry, it's for include action element in JSP. So let me create a folder for include. Okay. Fine. So here let's take include.jsp file. Not JSP. First, let us take include, HTML file. Include. Include form. Okay. In this include form, again, let's take the table. Table along with the form tag. So form action is let's take it as that's fine. We'll pass this action value later. And now let me pass table. Okay, so in this table, TR and TD. So here I'm passing it username. Okay. So close TD and again open TD with the input. Okay, so here input type equals to text and name equal to, so username. Okay, so now so let's take one more TR and for the TD. So here in TD, let's take it as a salary calculation part. Okay, so here basic salary. And again one more TD and in that, so input type equals to input type equals to text. Okay, and right, the input type equals to text and name equals to, so what we can pass here, let's take it as a salary. Fine. And now close tier, not tier, TD and tier. Okay, so now close this table tag and come out and pass one more input tag for submit button. So type equals to submit, um, type equals to submit and the value. So value equals to again submit. You can give anything as value, enter, login, so anything is fine. Okay. So now yes, I created a form. This is for include form. Okay. I mean include action element. Okay. And now let's go to create one file called main file. Okay. So I'm going to create a file, JSP file as main, main.jsp. Okay. So in main.jsp, uh, in main.jsp inside the tag, so h2 main starts and this. So I'm gonna take a scriptlet, fine in scriptlet. Let's take string username equals to, it's not this one, not double quotes, we are requesting actually. So request dot get parameter, and here in parameter, let me check that which one I passed here as uname, I mean username. So let's take that uname here and end with semicolon. Fine. So now again inside this, uh, salary of type double. Fine. So here what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to convert that, whatever the value will enter as a salary part, that I'm converting to double. Either you can convert it to float or double, or as it is, for integer you can convert. Okay. So let's take, let's take it as a float. Okay. So I'm taking it as a float. The salary equals to float dot so we have parse float. Okay. And here in this, so we have to request. So request dot get parameter and in double quotes. So what is that name? It is a salary, right? Salary. Okay. So I converted, whatever we are getting, it's not converted, it's a typecasting, one type to another type. Okay, so now let's come out of this, scriptlet and write, pass, use header tag with basic salary. Basic salary. So here again, expression I'm using. Expression. What we have to print here, B salary. Okay, so after displaying, here what I'll do, I'll try to include another page. Okay, I'll try to include another page by passing JSP dot, it's not dot, it's colon. So yes, JSP include and right. So this basic salary will be forwarded to another page. I have not created that one, but let's take it as an include, you know, include salary. Okay, assume that I have not created yet, right? So, and now I'm passing, I'm passing parameter. So JSP colon param, and param value, what we can pass here, value can be passed within double quotes as a basic salary. Okay, equals to, what is that, salary. Okay, so B salary, and name, what can be passed here? Let's take it as an param. Right, so I passed a param, and main page starts, and after include, let's let me display that end part as well. So main page ends, main page ends. Okay, so now let me close others. You know what, but here this is an exception, or error, because this include salary file is not in this directory. So that is the reason it's returning, it's giving error. So now let's create a JSP file. Okay, that is include salary file, right? And now in the include salary file, so try to get the username and the parameter value and print the net salary. And whatever you wanted to calculate, you can calculate, or either directly you can print it. Okay, and now so here string username. Okay, string username equals to request dot get parameter, and here in this uname. Okay, and get down, and let's take it as a double, because we have taken it as not double, sorry, float. So again I'm taking float, basic salary equals to float dot float, in a sense it should be uppercase wrapper class. So float dot parse float, and here inside this, so we should request the param. Okay, request get param, and inside this param, so let's let me pass that parameter which I'm passing through main.jsp. Okay, so what is it? It's a param. Let's close this. Okay, so now, yes, so in simple way, if you want to pass any, if you want to calculate the basic salary by including any other values, you can do that. Okay, so again now I'm taking one more. So net salary equals to basic salary. Okay, basic salary plus basic salary. I'm going to multiply in a few more. Okay, let's take it as a 3. Let me pass 4. Okay, it's returning error. Why this? do it as what? But I didn't take in nowhere as a word. Okay, so I'm wrong. I forgot to pass prefix, if it is of float. Okay. If we are, suppose if we are not passing prefix, for float value, then it will be taking, it will be taken it as an, what is it? Double. Okay, so now I'm going to print the value. I'm going to print value, including the username. So H2, and in H2, hello with the expression and username, and so I'm gonna print your net salary, and net salary is hope it is clear, guys. Please observe the URL. Okay, so here let me run HTML form. Okay, so let's take username, it's Neha, and base salary, suppose okay. Somewhere is a mistake here. So I have not passed to here. So let me pass main.jsp. Okay, so now let's go to the file and refresh this. So now, right, basic samples, So, it's actually redirecting to main page, and it's displaying basic salary, and also it's including, right? Let me show you this page, not this one. Okay, so here main page, and in main page, right, basic salary first, whatever the basic salary it is displaying, that is in same page, in this main page, and then and then we are including this include salary JSP file, and inside this include salary file, so we are getting the parameter, means to display this net value, net salary. So that is the one which is displaying, and at the end we do have a main page ends, which is present in this main.jsp, this one, line number 21. Okay, this is how include. So what happens, what's actually this include is doing, it's including the content of another page. So which is that another page? That is include salary.jsp. Any questions on this? Include and forward. No questions. Good. Fine then. So we'll move ahead with one more important, tag or action element, that is UseBean element. Okay. Let's take one folder. UseBean element. Okay. So as we discussed at the part, so basically UseBean tag is for uh, instantiating bean class. So what is bean class? A bean class or entity class is a Java class which can, which can have private properties. I mean, private variables and public getter methods. That is bean. Hope you guys are getting right. So now let me take, one form tag. That is fine if form tag is also not an issue. So let's pass form tag. Okay, login. And in this login form, let's take a form, right? So form action, we'll see action part later. Okay. And now, right. Let's take table. So inside table, tr, td, and here name. Let me close this td and input type. Okay. Why is there any mistake? Input type equals to text, and name equals to username. Okay, so now it's a BR. So error because we have to open one TD. So now after BR, let's close that. And now close TR. Okay, so this is for username, password, username, password, address, designation, salary. Okay, name. Let's take ID also. Okay, ID. UID. So name is uname, and password. So here username PSW user password, and as I said, address UADD. Okay, AWR I'm giving address, and designation. Okay, designation, and here designation. Fine. And right, so let's close this table, and now input input type equals to submit, the value equals to submit. Okay, fine. So everything is closed. And now actually I'm going to this name. So let's take password. Address and designation. I'll tell you why I changed these names. Okay. This is my UseBean, JSP page. Okay. JSP page, especially for the login. Okay. And now let's go to create one employee class. So these details are related to employee only. No? So I'm going to take employee class now. So let me create a package. Let me create com dot. Which element is this? UseBean demo. Okay, so this is my package. Instead of UseBean, let's take it as an entity. Where is it reactor? So let's take it as an entity. Okay, so now let's create class. Class, bean class or entity class. So class name should be here. Employee. Okay, so in this employee class, let's pass that int id. So it should be private int id, private string name, private. I should check those things. Okay, 1 second. Password address designation. Okay, private string password, again private string address, and then again private string designation. Okay, so for all these properties, so we can have getter setter methods. So how do we write that getter set methods? So I'll write I'll write getter setter methods for one property, and then I'll generate the automatic one. Okay, so now I'm gonna write it for id. Okay, id. So how to set the value? For setting values, we have to pass an argument in a method. Okay, so let's go to public. See, these are the private members. Okay, private properties, and now public getter setter methods. And now please observe public void set id. So this is the standard way which we write or we pass this setter method, setters or getter method. Okay, right? So inside this method, we may pass one integer value as an ID or any variable name. Okay, so now this dot ID slow. Okay, so this dot ID equals to ID. Okay, and now getter methods. Okay, public int get ID. So why int? Because we are trying to return value of an ID. So here we should, always return type should be of that particular, variable. Okay, so now return uh, ID, right? So it's perfect now. Okay, so now we can write same format for all the other, all other properties. Okay, so getter setter methods for all other 4 properties. Same public void set name, and inside the method we must pass string and any variable for name. Okay, let me check chat window. Any questions? No questions. Fine then. So no one is responding. So what should we do? Let's write it for, let me write it for string variable, then I'll generate, the default values. Fine. So this is for the name, you know, uh, getter setter for name. Okay. So how to set name, sorry, how to set value for name and how to get value, from name. So for that again, public. Okay, public void set name, and inside this we can have name or just n, that is fine. And why this is an error? Fine. So now this dot name equals to n. Again, how to get value? So get, sorry, it should be public. Public get type what? I mean name. So that is of type string, right? String get name. And here in name string, sorry, we are for returning value, we don't need to pass an argument. So return name. Okay, so same format, so same format we can set for other 3 arguments as well, but I'm going to generate, so we have an option to generate these setter or getter methods. So how, what is that method? So you just right click on this editor where you want to, have your methods and select it the source, and in source you can find getter setter methods or generate getter setters. So let's, right, so here we have, so you guys can observe, we have 5 fields, but here it is showing only 3 because I've written getter setter methods 2 fields, so it is showing for, I mean it is showing the leftover methods, not method, leftover properties. Okay, so let me take it as an, let me enable all. So by selecting an option called select all, and here you have access modifier, so you can select any access modifier, but standard one is a public one. Okay, so now click on OK. Right, so it is generated, it's generated getter setter method methods for other 3 parameters. Hope it is clear, guys, how to generate data setter methods or how to write a data setter methods. Any questions on this? Am I audible, guys? Because I know I've not seen any questions so far. Okay. Fine, then we'll continue. So data setter methods are generated. So now, so let's create one, one more JSP file. Okay, one more JSP file where we have UseBean. Okay, so I'm passing it as an UseBean. And in this UseBean tag, if you want to get any property, you can get it. Okay, you can get it. And so let me take not this one. Okay, so string name equals to request dot get parameter, and here it's the name only, right? And then so actually salary I have taken it as an let me check in class. Okay, I have not taken the salary part, right? So fine then. So I have to accept ID actually. So let's go to this UseBean. This is not, this should be integer type ID, and ID. Why is this happening? Okay. So I'm wrong. So let it be here instead of name. Let's take it as an ID. Okay, now we'll convert this. We'll typecast this. So int ID equals to, okay, int equals to integer dot parseInt inside parseInt request dot get parameter, and in parameter we have to pass ID, not ID, right? So in here we are accepting here, right? So let's take ID. Let me pass here as an ID, so it will be good. Fine. So now let's, if needed, you can print, if needed, you can print, but for now it's not needed. Okay, so now I'm going to instantiate that class. Okay. Instantiate bean class. So first of all, what is bean or entity or model? See, all 3 names are used for common class. I mean, as a common one, right? So here, let me mention. Let me write the comment here. Bean your model, your entity. Okay, so all three are same. So what is this? First of all, uh, it is just a class. Actually, yes, let me remove entity. Okay, so it's just a class which holds private properties and public getter setter methods. Okay, now right, instantiating bean class. So how do we instantiate bean class? That's with the help of UseBean UseBean action element. Okay. Shoot. One second. Okay. So now, what happens here? Yes. So class. So for let me take bean ID equals to. So let's take it as an EMP. We can take anything. Okay. ID. So just for uniqueness. Okay. Just for unique identification, we can have this ID value. Okay. So now class equals to I guess I'm wrong because here it is not bean, it's a UseBean. JSP colon UseBean. Okay. So ID equals to EMP class. Okay. Class equals to, here we have to pass fully qualified class name in the sense. So we have to pass package name including the class name. So what is a package? Com dot usebean dot entity dot employee. Error. Undefined type com using dot entity. Okay, let me go to this class and let's take this package. Okay, so actually spelling mistake. It's not entity here. I had given here as an ERY. So let's rename this. Change package declaration. Fine, let me remove this. Okay, so now I guess error which is there in UseBean tab is gone. No, but it is there. What a problem. So here I copied and I'm gonna paste here. What was the mistake? Fine. So anyhow, error is gone, right? So now, now I'm taking setter methods. Setter methods. Setter methods in the sense setting value for bean class. Setting values for bean class properties. Okay. Uh, how do we set that? That is with the help of colon set property. And here property name. So what is the property name? That is ID. Okay. And name of your bean. So here we should pass the ID name of your UseBean tag. So that is EMP. EMP. Okay. So again, now we have to pass the methods for all. Property name is name, right? So it's EMP. So this is common, So we must pass for all the properties, we must pass the same ID value. Okay. So now, so again, JSP colon set property name is password, address, and designation. So here, password, password, so here password, address, and designation, right? JSP set. So okay, so now here it is EMP. Okay, hope it is clear, guys. Now values, it is set. So values are setting, and we may need to check those values, right? Okay, so here employee details. Okay, so how do we print? How do we get those values? So we can get back those values. I mean, we can read those values from entity class and from B class with the help of getter methods. Okay, getter methods basically used for getting the value of a bean. Once again. Okay, now let's have what is this? Yes. Okay, so let's have our getter details. So how do we pass that? How do we call that? JSP colon get property, and the name of the property is ID. I guess this is nowhere used. Fine, we will see that. Okay, so here MP. I mean, from which object, from which class getting, that is from the EMP. So what is EMP? It is an ID value of UseBean tag. In a sense, the control it actually reaches to this employee class for getting values, even while inside also. I mean, while setting values also. Okay, and right. So JSP code get property name is name, and name as EMP. Okay, so JSP colon get property. So here password and name is EMP. So we have to write it for every, for every property. Fine. So let me write all the properties. All the properties, how many are there? So 3 more properties are left out, right? So now let me write all those. Okay, so now getters are done, setters are done, right? So now let's go to which one? Our form. And here in action, I should redirect it to UseBean. UseBean.jsp. Okay. So now let's run this. Uh, one minute. Okay. Let me enter. So let me click on submit. Uh, so it's displaying, values. So whatever the values, we are getting, sorry, I'm inserting all those values. It's displaying. You guys can see here, right? Any questions on this? Use bin action element. Basically, use bin action element is basically used for instantiating Java class. Okay. Yes, instantiating Java class, and not only instantiating. Yes, after instantiating, it allows us to access or to get values. Okay, so this is how use being tag is going to be used in JSP. Hope it is clear about what to say. Use bin element. Actually, what I did here in the same page, same page I retrieved and I'm printing, right? So in same page I set, I injected values, and along with it, I retrieved values. So if you want, you can have a separate file for, separate JSP file for, can say separate JSP file for printing values. Okay, for printing values. If needed, you can have break statement here. Here we can have like, ID name Password. Actually, password should not print, but yes, I'm printing here. So address and okay, now let me refresh and let's see. Yes, so it's working. So we can give space, one tab space for all. And right now you can go to that page and you can refresh. Okay, and one more thing. Let's see. Let me try. I'm taking one more, JSP page. Fine. Instead of one more page, in the same page, I will show you. Okay. So here, instead of taking, what to say, instead of taking each property, so we can replace this with the star. Okay. We can replace this with a star. Okay. Going with confusion. So let's take UseBean with all with the we have star. Okay. Okay, so I had given it as in with all properties. Fine. And now let's take that, JSP colon UseBean and ID as employee, I mean EMP or just E. Okay, so then class equals to com dot what happened? Com dot that is UseBean dot entity dot employee. Okay, so now what happened here? I mean, what I said, instead of passing all the properties, so, like, comment here, setting all B properties. Okay, so now JSP set. So here I'm replacing with star with the name as E. So this name value must be the ID value of your using tag. Okay, so now let's take this comment is not working now. Getting all bean values. Fine. So how do JSP colon get property? So property star and name as E. Okay. So now let me replace this in element. Copy that. And let's go to this. I'm replacing that. I'm commenting this page and I'll add one more form tag. Form action is dot j. Okay. Fine now. So let's let us run this. So ID okay, password and now address and designation list. Okay. Something is missing. Cannot find any information on star bean. Why this is. One second. Okay. And then where is. Okay, let me check. Let me check because it has to work, or I might have done any mistake. What else can be passed here? Let me change this one. I mean, setting is fine. Getting. Okay, let's see. For getting, I'll just, call this values. Let's see now. Exactly, I didn't remember. It's only for getters or setters. I guess it's only for setter method we can use star. Okay, so now let's take value. Okay, so I copied and I pasted. This should be, this needs to be replaced. Okay, so hope you guys can see the difference. For get method also we can use, but here it's not working. I'll check. Okay, but for set method, yes, passing each and every property, we can replace that with a star, so that value will solve the properties. Hope I hope it is clear, guys, about UseBean tag. Fine. So now, yes, this is about the major part, major elements of action elements in JSP. Okay, so we do have fallback, other elements that had given main important elements. Okay. So those are forward, include, param, UseBean, set property, get property. Okay. So now we'll see one more topic, that's expression language. Expression language, or we can say JSP expression language. Anyone is anyone of you are having an idea what is uh, expression language? Does anyone know expression language or JSP expression language? Even in simple way we can say, or we can call it as an EL. I'm gonna create one more project. Okay, EL or expression I'm just giving it as a LAN. Okay. So here let's pick one JSP file. Okay. So expression language, even for this, we have to add a jar file. Add external jar with servlet. Okay, so expression language. So right, expression language basically, it was for simplifying the accessibility of data. Okay, so EL used for simple way, used for simplifying for okay, simplifying accessibility of data. Fine. Accessibility of data which is stored in Java components. Okay, accessibility of data which is stored in Java Bean. Okay, so we can have how can we simplify? We have we have gone through implicit objects. Am I right? And have those implicit objects, and we can simplify this accessibility. Fine. And right, so as we have discussed about expression language, we have different types of expression language we can use along with this. Even there's implicit sorry, expression language mainly used many other implicit objects. So those are request scope, page scope, session scope, application scope, param values, headers, cookies, page context, it param, and so on. Okay. So we'll count values and talk about expression language. Expression language supports for arithmetic operations or conditional operations, or even looping. Even looping operations also possible with the help of this expression language. Okay, so now I'm just trying to write this expression language. So this expression language, always it will be with dollar symbol with open and closed curly brace. So here, let's write as number. That's it. Let me, print this. It's printing, right? Arithmetic operations. So we can have expression language starts with dollar symbol and open closed curly brace. So here 100, plus arithmetic operations, all arithmetic operations can be solved or can be used in expression language. And right, we'll see one simple example for for having any attributes. Okay, I can say implicit objects by using expression language. I can refresh, so you can find the arithmetic operation. So here let's take expression language 1, EL1. Okay, so here what I can do here, so I'm taking H1. Welcome to expression language. Okay, so here this is our split. Okay, scriptlet, and here I'm calling session object, session dot I'm wrong here. Okay, so let me take form, I guess form action is let's take el dot g. Okay, so let's take that. Fine, for now I have not created, but yes, I'll try to create. And yes, name. Okay, so for name, input type equals to text, and name equals to, let's take as a new name. Okay. Right. So it should be break. And now let me submit. Input type equals to submit and value equals to submit. Okay. So when we click on this, let me create session expression.jsp. So here in this, I'm trying to call that property, and I'll keep that in a session scope. Okay. Before that, let me get this property and we'll print that. Basically, to print values, user values, we use the out.println with the script, right? So now without that code, so basically now in the intention about or intention of this expression language is used for avoiding, avoiding Java code completely. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll try to, call this name and print. So how do we print? So that is with, let's take, uh, what can be right here? Getting, first of all, let's take, H1, that's fine. Okay. Getting value from, uh, getting value from mm, user and printing here with expression language, with expression language. Okay. Now get here or get inside and call that expression language. So what that, so here if we want to get any parameters, if you want to get any parameters or if we want to read any parameters from user, we have to use a param, param keyword, param dot, what is that name? So it is a uname, right? Uname. Okay. Getting value user printing with expression language. So now let's go here and run this. Okay, so this is, let's take as, the name, right? So it says that we are getting value, we are reading value from the user and we are printing. So how we are printing, basically, if it is without expression language, we have to use scriptlet or expression and get the value and then print the value. Am I right? But yes, so this expression language simplifies, printing or is performing, especially for reading data, with the variables. Okay. So this is about, simple way of expression language. And yes, if we can use this expression language for conditional statements or for, looping statements and even for switch case. So all the operations can be done in this, expression language. Okay. So let me give you one simple example for your, looping statement. Okay, looping statement to print of your numbers. Okay. So now let's take, yes, expression language for loop. Okay. And now how do we print that? First of all, declare, actually we can get it from the user, but for everything, that is not a good to get value from the user. So what I'll do here, uh, 1 minute, huh? Right, it's done. Fine. So now let's take declaration part, declaration tag with exclamatory mark and declare one variable num equals to, suppose, assume that I want to print 6, okay, 6 numbers, or yes, I can start with 0 or 1. Okay, so how do we print? The help of, uh, for loop. So generally we instantiate, for loop and we'll print. Same here, but difference is we use a scripting elements. Okay, declaration of number and initialization is also done, right? And now what I'll do, again, I'll call scripting element, so scriptlet. So in scriptlet, so it can have, this is not, it's not mandatory, but still I'm printing. So yes, what can be, returned here? Dot println numbers are, so here, whatever the numbers which we want to print. What is it? I guess I'm wrong. Let's say, let me try. For okay, for 8. Okay, actually, instead of printing numbers, I am taking it as an, sum. Okay, so now let's try to use that expression language. Um, H1. This should be out of this, right? Okay, so I'm coming out of this loop. Now let's see whether it prints here or not. Don't think, but still. Let's say now. It is not printing. What can be done here? Print values. We can print it inside this, but not outside. So let me take. Can we have session dot set attribute and here? Okay. Yes. And here, let me take some. No. Okay, this will not come under expression language. I'll print this value because I don't want to, paste this. So print some value is less some. But expression language. Okay, I'll give this in the next session. Next session in the sense looping statement with expression language. Uh, yes. Specifically, expression language is going to be used for printing, accessing and printing data, or either it can be used with implicit objects or without using implicit objects. Okay, so this one, well, I'll check and I'll give it in the next session. Okay, any queries so far? No questions today. Fine then. Okay, so we'll see you in the next session. We'll wind up. Thank you all.